Salute to everybody that's joining me today. And I'm here to ask the question on behalf of society and everybody else. Where have all the good men gone? Where have all the eligible bachelors gone? According to the ladies, the men have abandoned the dating apps. They're not going to dating apps. Dating apps are like dry. They're showing situations where the church had 1,000 women show up, and you guys have been on the back of this missing person. That's why I put you on the back of this missing person card. Missing in action. But I want to hear the story from the ladies' side, because you dudes have been missing. What have you all been up to? I see y'all occasionally roaming around, going to work, coming back from work. But the ladies say that you dudes, you're probably only showing up when it's time to pound. That's not good, gentlemen. That's not good. Where have all the good men gone? And please, folks, hit the like button on your way in. We're going to have this conversation today. The church event, MIA. The New York City event, MIA. Atlanta, Texas, California, Chicago. Can't find you dudes. Even my boys, when I mention dating and stuff, they turn up missing too. There goes Top Gun. Top Gun, where you been, man? What's up, my brother? Salute to you. Welcome. Where have you guys been? These ladies have been saying they had the event at the church last week. You dudes didn't show up. Where y'all hiding out at? Where are the men hiding out at? You know what? I'll tell you what I'll do, Top Gun. Let me hear things from the ladies' perspective. Let's hear what the ladies have to say about dating and relationships. Let me remove that from the stage. Let's see what this lovely young lady is talking about. Let's hear her side of the story. Obviously, this is Exhibit A. Look, you never know. Let's see what she's talking about.
Coles in Melbourne, who announced they're doing a singles hour on Valentine's Day, and I was like, I'm single. I hate dating apps. I spend a lot of time at the grocery store. Let me go find a husband. Okay, this is my outfit. Okay, there's a camera crew here. Guys, I hate this. Abort. There's like a massive group of people standing at the entry. Like, you can't get in, and they give roses, and I look like a single girl who's trying really hard. So I lingered at morning for because there was a hot man. He had a wedding ring.
Don't hate, gentlemen. Don't hate. Hold on one second. Why are you laughing, Tom? We got to see that pose again, man. It's a lovely young lady. You give a little sample of that pose. Here we go. Let me go ahead.
There's a Coles in Melbourne who announced they're doing a singles hour on Valentine's Day, and I was like, I'm single. I hate dating apps. I spend a lot of time at the grocery store. Let me go find a husband. Okay, this is my outfit.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, there's a camera crew here. Guys, I hate this. Abort. There's like a massive group of people standing at the entry. Like, you can't get in, and they give roses, and I look like a single girl who's trying really hard. So I lingered at Morning Fresh for a while because there was a hot man. He had a wedding ring on. They should have a rule that if you are married or in a relationship, you're not allowed in here for the whole hour. I don't even have a dog. If he has a dog, I would like that. So I just hung out in the dog section for a while. It's empty. He's hot.
So basically, this is the store is advertising that singles to come to this particular business at a certain hour. I guess they told women that there would be single men in this particular store, or they say singles come to this store, Valentine's Day sales or whatever's going on, you know. He said, Lord, why? Easy, brothers. Easy. Come on, gentlemen. Don't be like that. Okay, maybe she is bought into a little bit of body positivity. She's bought into body positivity, you know. I hope she don't say to herself that one day she'll decide to start dating black dudes or some crap like that. But she's a little bit into body plump positivity, and I'm sure her friends ain't gonna tell her the truth. But let's hear a side of the story, gentlemen. You know, but this stories, man, that's messed up.
But he's wearing a wedding ring. Tragic. I need cheese, and I don't want to be on camera. I just need some soft cheese. We are in the drinks aisle, and there are 4 women. There are 2 men down here, but they look quite old. There was a very attractive man. I smiled at him, and he looked the other way. So that was fun. So that was humbling. I may not have found a man or even been given a rose from Coles, but I do have donuts, flowers, and a matcha. So I'm the real winner. Am I a bit bummed? I saw that I didn't get a rose, and then I felt invisible. But I feel invisible in the dating world 100% of the time. So it's not really anything different, but it does hit different when it comes from a grocery store.
So what is happening here is that these corporations are cashing in on debt.
But nobody would tell her, and none of her friends would tell her that she needs to lose some weight and get in shape. They'll tell her, oh, the right, and she'll probably listen to some panda bear simp that tells her nothing is wrong with her. But she got a shape. That's why her outcome is bad. She's out of shape. And she needs to lose about 70 pounds. Nobody's going to tell her that. Because these people, these panda bears, her feminist friends, girl, you're so beautiful. The right man is going to find you. But everybody will just lie to her. But the store just made some money. She just went back home with some donuts and the mocha loaded with sugar, which is going to make her even fatter than what she is. But they live in a world of lies. But that's, hey, neither here or there. Hey, there's going to be a taker somewhere. But it ain't going to be the man she wants. That's for certain. Let's continue on.
Desperate women looking for husbands. They saw a whole generation of women hitting their mid-30s, still scanning every public space for a mythical husband. And they went, oh yeah, we can monetize that. So what this grocery store did is that they got her in the door during a slow hour. She spent extra money killing time and coping. She filmed the whole thing and posted it online for free advertisement. Bringing more lonely women next time will do the exact same thing. That is to show up, buy stuff, leave empty-handed, but with a full cart. It's zero-cost marketing for them. She pays to advertise their store, pays to fill her cart with consolation prizes, and gets nothing but a bruised ego in return. She thinks she's unlucky, but the company knows she's profitable. She went out with a cart full of impulse buys she never planned on. No man, no number, no spark. Just a lighter wallet and another unlucky story.
I just got back from a singles event here in Boston. It was at South Boston at a virtual golf place, and the event itself was great. The people that ran it were amazing, and the organization was great. You got a drink ticket. You got to play golf for a few hours and also mingle with the other singles there. I've been to other events similar to this in the city, both speed dating and then also other mixer type events. And I feel like the takeaways have been the same, and that I've met so many great, amazing, beautiful, successful women at these events, but there's not really great guys attending these events. And I also talked with the people that put the event on, and they said the same thing. Mentioned how fast the women's tickets sold out, but then even leading up to the event, like a few hours before, like they still had so many men's tickets left, and they were really struggling with why men are not attending these events.
Women pay little or nothing to show up, get free drinks, free golf swings, free validation from being surrounded by other supposedly high-value women. And by the way, she describes these women as amazing, beautiful, successful, independent, killing it in their careers, all that. And she's genuinely baffled why the men aren't showing.
So basically, nothing that she's talking about is what the men that she's interested in is interested in. I'll give you another example of that, okay? Let me remove that from the stream. I saw this particular clip that came through with Paul Aiken and asked an older man. And this particular young lady here, I want you to hear what she has to say. Let me stop sharing that and share the other screen. And this was interesting to me, right? And salute to my brother Paul Aiken. Ask an older man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And I want you to listen to what this woman is saying. They're regurgitating everything that men don't care about. Men are not interested in at all. I want you to listen to what she thinks makes her valuable or makes her even the least bit interesting to any man, any self-respecting, hardworking, honorable man. Listen to what this young lady has to say. It'd be interesting. And then notice one thing with all these ladies, me, my status, my qualifications, my professional life. Basically, they sound like men. But they think men are attracted to that. So basically, they've been raised their whole life to be men. And they find that men are avoiding them like the plague. They don't want nothing to do with them outside of sex. And this is what's creating the problem. It's not just a hypergamy issue. It's a desirability issue. Outside of the male-female organ, what makes you useful to a man, or what are the things that you possess that a man would want outside of sex? Since your qualification, how you portray yourself, is exactly like a man. These are things that a woman would say, like a woman would be attracted to in a man. He said, thumbnail for the stream got me cracking up. I had to drop. Of course, but listen to this young lady, right? And what she thinks. Hey guys, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, please do. But this is what they think. This is what they think men are interested in. Salute to Paul.
Oh, you're not attractive enough. We don't care if you're a lawyer. You have fake hair on and you're not that attractive of a woman. Sorry.
I'm a lawyer. I pay.
You get this one going. So this one is a lawyer.
Tasks first. And those tasks dominate large parts of the white collar workforce where women are heavily represented.
Did I girl boss too hard to the point that it's affecting my dating life? I think so. I'm a lawyer. I pay.
No, you're not attractive enough. We don't care if you're a lawyer. You have fake hair on and you're not that attractive of a woman. Sorry.
I'm a lawyer. I pay my own bills. I have my own place. I have my own money, including savings. Okay. I take care of my mental health, which means that like the work doesn't just stop all of a sudden, even if I'm doing great. I go to therapy like every 2 weeks. All right. Shout out to Chris. And this is a big one. I solo travel a few times a year. So now going into the dating field, right? I have a different point of view as to like what I'm looking for in a person, and people have just kind of fallen short from fulfilling that. I'm not about to be with somebody or in a relationship just because of what? Semantics? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a In my past relationships, I focused on the feeling of love, right? Oh my gosh, I adore this person. I can't see my life without them. Da, da, da. And look at me, living and thriving. Because I'm hyper independent and I girl bossed a little too hard and I went to therapy. All right, that's the trifecta right there. I pay attention to love, of course, but the other very important factor is how do I benefit from being in a relationship with this person? I just told y'all all the ways they benefit. Okay, how do I benefit though? And that is a part where these men be giving me the ick right away. When I think about the benefits I would be looking for, it's nothing that is out of this world. And that's the troubling part. An example in my case would be someone who does thoughtful gestures, right? Like you bought me flowers out of nowhere, not because it's Valentine's Day, you just bought me flowers just because, baby? Damn, that is so beautiful. You pass like the ice cream store and you know I like a certain sorbet, so you went inside and got me some. And I'd even ask you, do you know what that would unlock in me? These things don't cost a lot of money. They don't even take a lot of brain power, but a lot of men don't have it in them, y'all. It's not clicking, Steven. It's not clicking. As someone who is hyper independent, I don't mind being single because I could do bad all by myself. If you're coming into my life and it's not to elevate me,
Yeah, you go do bad all by yourself.
Oh my God.
33-year-old lawyer.
Oh my God. Sorry, gentlemen. That was worse than watching couples therapy. My 10-minute doubt ends. In absolutely. This is what men think. Ladies, if you're watching this and you get it, this is what a man thinks. Insufferable. Jesus Christ. She's painful. Hard on the brain. Shit. I should have took an ibuprofen before I watched that shit. Hard on the brain. That is what can give a man brain damage. Listen to that chick. Everything me, what I am, how qualified I am, how valuable I am, me. Everything she quoted is what men don't give a rat's ass about. They'd be like, shut up. Enough. It's horrible, man. That's insufferable. Absolute painful on the brain. Run, escape, jump a wall. That'll make a dude. That's what makes a dude drive. You see a dude driving circles in the park? That's her boyfriend or the guy she used to date. Dude don't want to go home. He's driving around the park like this. Yo. The park says, what is it? Dawn to dusk. It's about to get dark. Take your ass home. Nah, I ain't want to go home. He out in the park late at night. No wonder why they don't want to go home. Because he got to go home to that shit. Lawyer chick, insufferable. Men are very simple creatures. The women don't understand it. We don't require much. Drink some poison. Maybe fix us a little meal. Be affectionate and loving. Be nice. Stay in shape. Don't cause no problems. Take care of yourself. Look nice. And help keep the place clean or something. Just don't be a pain in the ass. But nope. Everything they talk about. Nothing that men care about. So they're going to these dating events. That's the type of woman that's going up to these dating events. And they're looking for a man to be in a relationship on their terms. A man that they want, a top 10% man, to be in a relationship with them on their terms, and these are what they think men value. That's what's so fascinating about it. And they are completely out of touch with male psychology, what men need, what men value. They don't care what men value. They don't care what men want. They don't care what men find desirable. And nobody has really told her that she's insufferable. Because all the content that they consume, it's Panda Bears, the Derek Jackson, the Matthew Hassan, whatever the guy's name is. All these channels that they listen to, they live in a bubble of delusion. So there's the guys like Kevin Samuels who tried to help them. They reject, they don't even listen to them. But no one tells them that they're painful on the brain. And after a guy is done having sex with them, the guy runs. And that's why they're at these single events. And the guys that are there are the guys that, even for them, they don't want to date those guys. So it becomes a humiliation ritual for those guys. Because that's not the guys that they really want. So let me stop sharing this and add the screen back. But this is what we have today, is that there's no real interest in what men want, what the men that they want. They don't care. They don't care what the men they want. So we end up with this circle of nowhereness. And then you have these women acting bewildered and whatever else as to why men not showing up when they don't understand that they themselves are completely insufferable.
Going up in droves to scoop them up. These events are marketplace where the women are the buyers and the men are the merchandise. Every guy who enters gets evaluated, scanned, cross-examined, measured against unrealistic criteria, and if he doesn't hit that elite level of attractiveness, he gets dismissed right there in person. No algorithm to soften the blow, no polite fade out, just an instant nope. And the wild part is the men are paying for that experience, paying to be
Not
judged,
anymore.
ranked, and mostly rejected by women whose standards have drifted far above their actual competitive position.
Men always assume this, and I, for the life of me, do not understand. Anytime my friend and I invite guys to come to our singles events, they always assume that it's going to be 80% majority men. Like, they'll be like, oh, like, I think it's going to be a sausage fest. Like, I think I speak for most guys when I say, like, we're not going to come because it's all going to be other guys. That's not the case ever. Like, gone to multiple singles events. I'm hosting singles events now myself. In every situation, it's majority women. And they're all really cool, fun, attractive women. In New York, women here, from in my personal experience, they are very willing to sign up for events. They're willing to put in effort to make connections with people, both platonic and romantic. And I have found it not to be the case for men. So I don't know where that perception's coming from. If anyone has any idea, what is that barrier? The reason that we're reaching out to these men is because it's harder to get men to sign up for these events. And yet when we ask them to sign up, they say they don't want to sign up because they think it will all be men. It's like, no, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because there is no men. Like, what is it? I don't understand.
Guys aren't avoiding these events because they think it'll be a sausage fest. In fact, they know that there will be no sausage in these events because men have collectively decided to withhold and keep the sausage at home on purpose. And honestly, it's the smartest labor strike in history. Women think men assume there'll be too many guys, but the truth is way funnier. Guys know it'll be all women and still don't go. That's how unattractive the setup is. Imagine being
All women, but all ball-busting feminist women. That's what guys know. It's a humiliating ritual, and it's just insufferable mentally. And they're not going to get anything out of it because in these women's minds, they came there with an imagination, with delusion, an inflated sense of self-value. So any guy with common sense knows it's a waste of his damn time. He might as well stay home and, play Call of Duty or do something useful with his hobbies and his passions with his time. Why would he show up there to sit around and hang around with a bunch of ball-busting feminists? No, he's not going to go there. Who wants to be entertained? Who wants to listen to that crap? But let's continue on.
Dude, and hearing there'll be a room full of single women with delusional expectations, and the whole energy of this event is women interviewing men like job candidates for positions they're not qualified to judge.
Saw a video of a woman saying that women need to stop saying that there are no good men out there because it just makes the patriarchy win, because then women will settle for less than they deserve because there are no good options, and that means that we have to fix them, save them, train them, make them better, whatever. Like, no man is just going to be a good man. To that I say, I think women are just realizing that we don't need to be with a man at all if most of them suck. Trying to wade through all the bad ones to find a good one is exhausting. And women are realizing that they actually just don't even need a man at all to be fulfilled in their life. Women have been told forever that we need to get married and have kids to find fulfillment in life. And I can tell you right now, some of the happiest women I know are either unmarried, child-free, or both. I do believe that there are good men out there. I know there are because I found one. He's amazing.
With this kind of mentality,
Whoa. She said all that to say that she has a man? She's found one? So she found some jellyback that is willing to be in a relationship with a ball-busting feminist. And she's telling other women to be single or stay single. And then she's double talking, say, oh, there are some great men out there. I found one, but you're encouraging women to be single. The double talk is crazy. But now that we see with the economy, we see that the government has divorced women, how things have changed. but they're not really looking to be under the leadership of a man. They're just looking for extra help and sponsorship and to split those bills. Rents are high, inflation, property values are not coming down, especially in New York City, where that mayor's thinking about increasing the property taxes to raise funding to pay off debt and to pay for all these social programming. But again, saying one thing and doing something else, which is why you have to believe people's actions rather than their words. Because behind the scene, she's probably in there, you know, on all fours, pleasing her man. She's got a man and she's telling women this nonsense. Yeah. That's one of these do as I say, not as I do.
Her relationship will not last. She will either leave him or he will get tired of her bullshit and bounce. Think about it. That man is sitting there right now with a ticking clock over his head and he doesn't even know it. Every argument they have, every disagreement, every time he falls short of her endless expectations, she's going to have that voice in her head saying, I don't need this. I was fine alone. I built a beautiful life without him. And one day she'll convince herself he's not adding enough value anymore and she'll pull the trigger.
But I think that right now women are realizing that we need to build a beautiful life that fulfills us and makes us happy without a man being a part of the equation at all.
Why do you have a man? You're telling these women to do that, but you have a man.
We have that, we can add a man in. And if he continues to add value to our life, continues to make us happier, continues to make us feel more safe and secure and free in our expression, amazing. But I don't think that holding men accountable for their actions and saying that men suck is going to make women settle for less. I think it's making us realize that maybe we just don't need them at all. And we can hold out until we really do find a good one instead of dealing with all the bullshit.
What she is saying is that men are optional accessories, like a scarf, nice to have if it matches the outfit, but completely irrelevant to the overall function. She wants to build this whole self-reliant empire where she doesn't need a man, her life is complete.
What I heard is me, I, what a man should be doing, what a man should be, relationships on my terms or our terms. Salute, Dr. L. Peace and blessings to you, man. Welcome to the chat. But the common theme with everything she's saying is me, I. What a man supposed to be doing for me? What am I supposed to be receiving? Nothing in her conversations about what she offers men, because they don't care what men want. They think that men are evil and diabolical and the evil patriarchy and everything else. And they're only tools to be used and extracted resources from and discarded. Because nothing in this conversation that she's saying will attract any masculine man with self-esteem. It is only that simp. And that simp that she's gonna get is going to be severely tortured. She's going to punish him. Whatever man gets with this woman is going to wish he was dead. By the time she gets in his head and she starts torturing him mentally, because she has what I call a persecution mentality, which is what she's been a lifelong victim. She believes she's been victim of a man for all of her life, even though no man is probably ever anything to her. So she has anger, resentment, but she needs men because her nature, her physical, biological, mental nature tells her that she wants and needs a man. But she hates men. She was raised to hate men, but she needs men. Especially now with the way the government's going and these wars and all these DEI, affirmative action programs, they're all gone. Now they're nervous now that they want men on their own terms. They still hate men. You know what I mean? But they want men. Just like me and salads. I need that salad. But I prefer a slice of cake. That's a whole nother story. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I'm saying it's like men are a necessity, but they can't say it, but they hate men. It's like they're, And that's what's happening nowadays. I call it fishing for a simp. What's going on nowadays is they're fishing for a simp. And this is a time period of great insecurity. It's a time period of great insecurity. The young Gen Z men, the millennial men are becoming more conservative. Guys are getting comfortable being by themselves. It's like, I'd rather stay alone and die alone with my peace than to take on one of these insufferable ball-busting feminists. Nothing worse than life with a feminist. I mean, that is the greatest punishment ever a man can endure, is to live in a house with one of these ball-busting, man-hating, elbow dropping in the middle of your sacks feminists all day long. Imagine somebody watching MSNBC or one of these liberal channels and all day long engaging in TikTok and Instagram, repeated man-hating propaganda and feminist crap and all the nonsense in life about what you need to be doing for her. And all you're going to get as a reward is occasional sample of pre-owned. And if you take too much of it, she's going to remind you of what a monster you are, and your sexual appetite makes you an animal, and is a semblance of the evil patriarchy. My brother Mark Smith, salute to you, man. You're the first super chat of the day. Guys, support the channel. Please do. For you married simps, this is what your wives are listening to as well. All day, every day. That's what they listen to. These women, that's all they listen to. Instagram, TikTok, all day long, they are listening to man-hating, men should be born in jail and earn their way out. I choose the bear, the evil patriarchy, mansplaining, mansplaining, all that shit. That's what they listen to all day long. You can't even talk to them. They'll say, well, you're mansplaining a peaceful life. Look at you, you bald-headed, middle-aged, misogynistic, horrible man. Oh, abuse as a weapon. It is used to torture you. You get an erection. They might say that's an evil erection from the patriarchy. That's a patriarchal erection you have there. What are you going to do with that thing? Like, you know what I mean? They'll be like, having sex with you more than once a month is abuse. You know what I mean? That's some shit like that, man. Who signs up for this stuff? Nobody in their right mind is signing up to be with a ball-busting feminist. I don't know who will do it. Unless you need be on Medicaid, you got to be at the bottom of the barrel of your self-esteem as a man to go live with this woman. To live with that woman, you've got to be the ultimate loser in life. You got to be really on some low self-esteem. That is torture. That is hell itself. You've been shortening your life by about a decade of just spending 1 year with that woman. But salute to you, man. Hey guys, hit the super chat, support the channel. We're going to keep a lot of these commercials out of here and keep this unfiltered environment, and we're going to focus on the things that men care about, the things that bring us outcome in the real world. So support the channel, hit the like button, and let's continue on. But this right here, God help that man. He's going to suffer. Yeah.
Her career, her friends, her hobbies, her soft cheese. And then maybe, just maybe, if a man meets every single criteria on her 75-point checklist, she'll consider letting him add value to her existence. You hear how that sounds, right? And she calls that empowerment. I call it a really good way to die alone, surrounded by cats and accomplishments.
That's it. But we got to go back to Exhibit A, man. Exhibit A's got to be the funniest, man. Let's reevaluate. And this is what I call, this is the other insufferable. The body positivity insufferable is the worst. Because I'm sorry, I know you guys saw this before. We got to play it back again for those who didn't came in, right? In the words of Megan Thee Stallion, we don't want y'all, man, but we need y'all. What's going on, Pooh, man? Salute to you, man. Wait, welcome, guys, to the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button. If you guys want to support the channel, let's please do it. Let's go back to Exhibit A. We got to watch this again. Sorry, guys. The body positivity insufferable. Let's hear her out again.
There's a Coles in Melbourne who announced they're doing a singles hour on Valentine's Day. And I was like, I'm single. I hate dating apps. I spend a lot of time at the grocery store. Let me go find a husband. Okay, this is my outfit. Okay, there's a camera crew here. Guys, I hate this. Abort. There's like a massive group of people standing at the entry. Like you can't get in and they give roses. And I look like a single girl who's trying really hard. So I lingered at Morning Fresh for a while because there was a hot man. He had a wedding ring on. They should have a rule that if you are married or in a relationship, you're not allowed in here for the whole hour. I don't even have a dog. If he has a dog, I would like that. So I just hung out in the dog section for a while. It's empty. He's hot, but he's wearing a wedding ring. Tragic. I need cheese, and I don't want to be on camera. I just need some soft cheese. We are in the drinks aisle, and there are 4 women. There are 2 men down here, but they look quite old. There was a very attractive man. I smiled at him, and he looked the other way. So that was fun. So that was humbling. I may not have found a man or even been given a rose from Coles, but I do have donuts, flowers, and a matcha. So I'm the real winner. Am I a bit bummed? I saw that I didn't get a rose, and then I felt invisible. But I feel invisible in the dating world 100% of the time. So it's not really anything different, but it does hit different when it comes from a grocery store.
So what is happening here is that these corporations are...
Oh, sorry, man. That's cold, man. Get that woman back her money. That's messed up, man. Yeah, that's messed up. You know. No, I'm not from the NYC, man. I'm in the Philadelphia area. Hey, salute, man. Hey, guys, make sure you hit the button, man. And hey, guys, make sure you check out Dr. L's podcast too, man. Check out Dr. L, man. A lot of great content on there, man. Make sure you check out my brother. I put this link in the description too for you to check out Dr. L, man. Salute to you, Dr. L. Hey, thanks for coming through, man. But no one's gonna tell this young lady the evil that women. See, women. You know that saying? Hey, Top Gun, can you put Dr. L's link in the chat? Dr. L's channel, Top Gun, if you're still in there. But men compete, women sabotage. All of her friends know why she's not getting the outcome she wants. But no one's going to tell her. No one's going to tell her you need to lose 70 pounds. That's how terrible women are. Women will know, but they won't say anything because they all want to be part of that group acceptance thing and the niceness, and they listen to all this content that get them no outcome. But no outcome is there. These are the women that are showing up to dating events. And we saw the one with the church. And, well, I can't. Sorry, guys. I can't do the lawyer again. The lawyer is just too painful. That lawyer was, you know what? I'm going to have to do a reaction to that later. So, gentlemen, I'm going to have to do a reaction to this later, but I apologize. I'm going to have to show you. We're going to have to take another sample of this lawyer. I have to do a reaction to it at some point. But I'm just going to cover my ears or something. I don't know. I have to play her again. That's painful. I know it's hard on the brain. Well, we're gonna take another sample of her. There we go. Salute to Paul, man.
An administrative task first. And those tasks dominate large parts of the white-collar workforce where women are heavily represented.
Did I girl boss too hard to the point that it's affecting my dating life? I think so. I'm a lawyer. I pay.
No, you're not attractive enough. We don't care if you're a lawyer. You have fake hair on and you're not that attractive of a woman. Sorry.
I'm a lawyer. I pay my own bills. I have my own place. I have my own money, including savings. Okay. I take care of my mental health, which means that like the work doesn't just stop all of a sudden, even if I'm doing great. I go to therapy like every 2 weeks. All right. Shout out to Chris. And this is a big one. I solo travel a few times a year. So now going into the dating field, right? I have a different point of view as to like what I'm looking for in a person, and people have just kind of fallen short from fulfilling that. I'm not about to be with somebody or in a relationship just because of what? Semantics? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a In my past relationships, I focused on the feeling of love, right? Oh my gosh, I adore this person. I can't see my life without them. Da, da, da. And look at me, living and thriving. Because I'm hyper independent and I girl bossed a little too hard and I went to therapy, all right, that's the trifecta right there. I pay attention to love, of course, but the other very important factor is how do I benefit from being in a relationship with this person? I just told y'all all the ways they benefit. Okay, how do I benefit though? And that is a part where these men be giving me the ick right away. When I think about the benefits I would be looking for, it's nothing that is out of this world. And that's the troubling part. An example in my case would be someone who does thoughtful gestures, right? Like you bought me flowers out of nowhere, not because it's Valentine's Day, you just bought me flowers just because, baby? Damn, that is so beautiful. You passed like the ice cream store and you know I like a certain sorbet, so you went inside and got me some. And I'd even ask you, do you know what that would unlock in me? These things don't cost a lot of money. They don't even take a lot of brain power, but a lot of men don't have it in them, y'all. It's not clicking, Steven. It's not clicking. As someone who is hyper independent, I don't mind being single because I could do bad all by myself. If you're coming into my life and it's not to elevate me,
yeah, you go do bad all by yourself.
God.
33-year-old lawyer.
It's over. It's over. I think I found something worse than watching couples therapy. I'm ready to jump out of my own window. Listen to that shit. She's painful. My brain is like, so brain hemorrhage. Oh my God. Awful. I don't know if there's a cure for that. I don't think there's a cure for that. I mean, outside of it, like, okay, unless it's an apocalypse outside, unless there's a zombie apocalypse, only cure for that is a zombie apocalypse or some, dystopic environment or something where all that crazy just goes away. I mean, it's just absolutely insufferable. So let me get that out of there. And that's where we're at right now. And we talk about these dating events. What's really going on with these dating events? And I always say, in that case, replace man and husband with the word sponsor. Because there's really nothing else that these women seek to gain from relationships, because the majority of them have been raised in these feminist environment all their life. And, it's crazy, man. Worse, and they're shocked, right? I got it for you, Dr. L. I got it for you, man. Man, hold on a second. There we go. Let me get the history. Hey, Paul Aiken had it on his channel. Asked an older man. The video that he just get, Paul Aiken Ask Older Man. He just played that video on his channel. It's in that video he just put out today. So it was the clip in there, and I had to share that clip because they don't understand that would give a productive, successful man brain hemorrhage. Listening to that, they have no idea how painful that is. I'm telling you, women don't. When you go, let me copy it out. Let me get it real quick. Yeah. Here goes Dr. L. It's in this video that came from Paul Aiken. That's the video clip it came from. Yeah. But they have no idea. They have no idea. Like, you ever walk by, I'm telling you, and I know Dr. L, he's former law enforcement. And we know at dusk, the parks closed in certain communities. So at dusk, the park is closed, and there's a dude still sitting there at the park, parked in his truck or in his car. And the dude don't want to go home. And you have to say, yo, bro, hey, here's the deal, man. Hopefully there's a train station in the community or somewhere, a Walmart parking lot. But the dude don't want to go home. And I've had dudes, there's sometimes I come through a lot, and the dude's sleeping in his car. He said, I can't go home, man. And I don't really bother them. And they'll be like, yo, I'm maybe I don't tell the bosses, or I don't let them know that there's a dude sleeping in the parking lot. But he said he can't go home. And I understand why he can't go home, because he got a chick like that at home. He don't want to even go home. And I'm like, okay, brother, just stay safe, man. And don't make a scene. Don't get me in trouble. But that's what happens in many of these situations. But we're going to talk about the church dating event. And they're wondering why the men themselves, they don't understand. See, women have no idea of male psychology. Remember, everything that's being discussed is about the female and what the female want. Nothing about male psychology. They don't understand how men think. They don't understand what men want. They don't understand how to keep a man. All they understand is how to go to school, get a job, get a career. Half of them can't cook. Nothing. If you put up some eggs for them to boil, it will explode all over the house. You give them boiled eggs, the whole egg is going to explode. They have no domestic skills. They were raised to be workers, to compete with men for jobs. So now that all these programs, the DEI, automation is on the way with AI, these Republicans are killing all these government programs. DEI is gone. Affirmative action is gone. All the funding that they used to get, all these grants, Dodge is digging and all these grants. Now they turn, after the government has filed for divorce, they have turned to men. Because they're afraid now. Losing jobs. All these clerical, customer service, mid-management, administrative jobs are being replaced by AI in some regards. And that's the jobs that many women take. And they're like, whoa, crap. Maybe we do need men. We can't let men know we need them. So we're going to try, because they're highly feminist, they're like, well, let's try and make it believe that, well, we're going to try and negotiate this relationship on our terms. And then when they don't, we're going to shame them, though. We're still going to keep shaming them. We're not going to let them know how desperate we are. We're going to play this reverse psychology. We want them to be with us and take us, but on our terms. It's tough because they've been raised to be men. And that's the fundamental problem we have. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and support the channel. You want more live streams? You have to support the live streams because we have to break away from other things to do the live streams throughout the middle of the day. But let's go on to the situation with the church. We understand what has happened in the church. most masculine men understand that many women use the church to rebrand themselves in the mission with the goal of raising the standards or revirginating themselves to require a man. The religion is used to shield him from ever asking questions about her past. Because all she has to say is, especially in the Christian church, is God has forgiven me. Jesus has cleansed me of all that pleasure that I've enjoyed all my life. All the bodies, other men's kids. I came and I've been reborn, rebirthed in the blood of Jesus. And I am now born again virgin. I wish the church could do that for my needs. Or maybe I should go in the church and say, I need to be back to my 25-year-old self again. But it's not going to happen. But somehow the church can rebuild vaginas to brand new statuses. You pray over it, revirginate it, bam. Now they want to charge you the price of marriage. Because even though you're a guy number 30, the right spiritual and religious thing to do, because if we having sex outside of marriage, that's a sin. It doesn't matter what I've done it 100 times before with multiple different men. Today, everything is brand new. So they try to use the church. The church is like a remanufacturing center to get a man that they want to sign up for that contract, which is marriage, to raise the price to MSRP, that's what the church is about. And this is an example of it when we talk about the situation in Atlanta. This particular young lady, many a man, salute to him, covered this topic. And here's this young lady. Obviously, here's a Misha. Whoa, I don't want to put her name out there like that, but you see, she has the tattoos. She has everything, a lot of women have tattoos nowadays. They say it doesn't affect their quality. They look. Yeah, very true. Very much true. I totally agree. Other religions too. They're using the church to rebrand themselves so that they can demand a higher price on the dating relationship market. It's like game. It's game though. I'm not hating on the ladies. I'm just pointing the fellas out that it's game. It's purely game. But this lady, Misha, or whatever else, because the church itself now, they're just happy to have converts because somebody's got to put the money in the coffers. I mean, let's be honest. The church don't run, for free. Money is needed for the church to run. Women bring money. So this young lady is wondering why no men have come. But guys have figured out the game. Let's play it. Salute to Media Man.
I went to singles night at church, and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000 singles in attendance. I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes, and sizes. Literally African-American women. A room full of singles. Where are the men? Where are the men?
It's just funny to hear her say, where are the men? Black women have been the loudest voices of telling black men to leave them alone.
Especially like a lot of black men. Oh, we don't like when y'all wear wigs and weaves and nails and eyelashes and makeup. And we have told you repeatedly, we don't give a... What's not clicking, Stephen?
Look the video, man.
What up, though? Welcome back to another Media Man review. Thank y'all for...
Hey, y'all, salute to Media Man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's continue, my brother.
Tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hype the video. Today, we got another video of a woman complaining that men aren't showing up to dating events. I'm doing this series to collect as much data as possible so I can put something holistic together to show the Black community and women in general that when you guys celebrate the male loneliness epidemic, it seems like y'all are begging these men to come back. But like I said, y'all push these men away, but now you want them to be at these dating events. But
it ain't really, it's just necessity. They're afraid of this government. See, they were married to the government before. It's easy to disrespect men when the government is your husband. But the government ain't acting right, especially these politicians. These Republican politicians, they're like, we'll cut every damn program. Section 8. So after the government has divorced these women, somebody's got to be the rebound man. It ain't going to be me. So maybe it's one of you gentlemen in the chat. I'm out the game. I'm old. It's over for me. But maybe one of you nice gentlemen in the chat will be the rebound man. But let's continue on.
We got another woman, so let's check out the video and see what she has to say.
I was just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church, and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First, I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left.
I did not expect her to say anything about church. And I'm not trying to judge her harshly, but the way that she presents, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of tattoos, on her chest area. I see that. But certain signals that women send, they actually matter. And before anybody gets emotional, I understand this isn't about shaming anybody. Church, come as you are. I get it. But it is about understanding how the dating market works. Men, in this case, respond to signals. Just like men are judged by their income, grooming, women are actually judged by signals as well, especially in the looks department. And in these relationship spaces, the first thing that guys are going to think is like, damn, man, she tatted up. She must have had a hard past.
But let me ask you this.
Yes.
What type of guy are you looking to attract? That's still very important. But what type of guy do you want? What does he have to look like? So once I know that, then we know where to work from.
I like a quarter zip man. I like a boat shoe man. I like a nice slack man, like a nice pants, like maybe some jeans, not urban, like the way that I kind of look. I'm from the Bronx, so a lot of the times I think the IMG sweatsuits and stuff like that, I'm retiring those. I'm slowly phasing them out of my closet.
Now, you're saying you want a quarter zip boat man. With this look now, it gives, he'll date you, but you'll be the side girl or you'll be the girlfriend on the side, right? But if you want something more serious, we would either have to cover up the tattoos or get rid of them completely. So that means put makeup on them or get rid of them, right?
I'm expressive, alternative, and visibly non-traditional. My piercings, tattoos, and style is how I communicate independence, creativity, and freedom from conventional expectations. I'm confident. I walk into a room and people feel it. I'm socially open. I'll start the conversation or keep it going.
Oh my God, run. If you see anybody with that piercing in their nose, run. Tattoos, piercings, just undesirable. Recreation. I wouldn't even say recreational use. Unless you want to get some bricks thrown through your window. Run. Take a pass. Pass. By the time you listen to one of these women talk, you'll have ED. So you wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to have sex with them anyhow. They'll give you ED just by talking to them. Run. Just run. No. Ladies, this ain't it. Septum piercing, nose piercing, automatic disqualification. Automatic. I mean, come on, man. What kind of man you think? The kind of man that's going to go for a woman like this is probably the type of man that's taking it up the backside too. And that's really what it is. True. There's no masculine man, heterosexual man is going for this shit. The type of guy that's going to accept this nonsense is the type of jellyback man you don't want. Absolutely disturbing. Absolutely. Horrible. I mean, I don't know who dates these. Anyhow, continue on. Look at this. Septum piercing. They're ridiculous.
And when I'm excited, you know it. I wear my feelings on my sleeve, literally and figuratively.
What I didn't account for is perception. Many men see the tattoos, the piercings, the braids, and they decide I'm a wild card. Good for a night, maybe a season.
I learned that attraction doesn't equal commitment. Some men enjoy my energy but don't see me as long-term because my aesthetic doesn't align with their values. And that's okay. I'm learning to honor what I want too.
My best outcomes come from alignment, not persuasion. When someone already shares my lifestyle, my worldview, my way of showing up, I don't have to convince them I'm serious.
Some guys may associate that with trauma.
I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes, and sizes. Literally African-American women.
I kind of hesitate when women call other women gorgeous or beautiful, because I think the way a woman describes a woman's looks is completely different from how men describe her looks. So when a woman says that, oh, the room was 1,000 women and all of them were beautiful or gorgeous, it's like, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Like a room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. Like, this has to be like a simulation. Or is that the word I want to use? I think so. Like, I'm confused and I'm like low key, like nervous, like for us. We're shit for myself, fuck y'all. Because.
But look at those nails. I mean, the first thing a man thinks about when he sees those nails is the inability to properly clean yourself. A man thinks that any man knows that maintaining proper hygiene with those types of nails, there's many questions you want to ask about hygiene. I have concerns about hygiene when I see nails like that on a woman. I'm not trying to smell anything. I'm not saying that she is or she ain't, but hygiene is the number one question. The tattoos equals recreational use. The nails equals hygiene problem, possibly, not absolute. You know, she's giving off that recreational use vibe, but even for recreational use, you got to be cautious. You know, this type of women be then throwing the cylinder block through your car window when you don't call them back. Crashing out and shit at your house. Nobody wants that crap. So it looks like chaos. He said it, chaos, pure chaos. I mean, recreational use. I hate to say it, but even recreational use, you gotta be careful because some of these women will crash out on you. Top Gun, they'll crash out. Putting in, you do a lot of work on cars. Putting rear windshields back in your car and replacing broken mirrors and windshield and broken scratching paint and all that crap. Hell no. You know, they don't want the smoking in your room. Yeah, I mean, she looks dangerous. She looks dangerous. That's really what it comes down to.
Where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. We know where they at. Bye.
I don't know what that last part meant where she said we know where they at. Maybe in the gym, maybe playing video games, chilling, enjoying their peace. I'm not sure what she was alluding to, but it was just funny to hear her say, where are the men? That's crazy. And she said black women in particular. Black women have been the loudest voices of telling black men to leave them alone.
Why is everyone always so concerned about what black women are doing at every single given moment? Well, could you just like leave us the fuck? No, we don't like that. We don't like that. We don't like that. Okay, we do. Leave us the fuck alone. Especially like a lot of black men. Oh, we don't like when y'all wear wigs and weaves and nails and eyelashes and makeup. And we have told you repeatedly, we don't give a fuck what you like. What's not clicking, Steven? Like, what's not clicking? You keep giving your unsolicited opinions on what we as black women do. We keep telling you, hey, sir, don't give a fuck about that opinion. If you take someone's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. Look at you. Ew. Ooh. Who would ever want that? To be insecure, jealous, busted, and disgusted? Ew.
To the black man who came on this app and asked why don't black women say hi, this is why I never want to say shit to you motherfuckers. When you say hi to some men specifically, the extra shit that comes with it, we don't want it. That's why we don't say shit. And as someone who is single and by herself or with her kids most of the time, y'all feel the most entitled to have to say something and think that I'm supposed to say something back, which is fucking weird.
Look at these tattoos on her arm and shit, man. Oh my God. Boy. I tell you what, man. You want to see me spaz out? Let one of my boys bring something like that around my house. Let one of my boys walking down my house with some chick like that. I will spaz the F out. Never will my boys walk in my house with anything that look like that. With all them tattoos and everything else like that. And I'm telling you, I'm a father. I have boys. You better not show up at my house with a woman looking like this. I won't even let her in the house. I'd be like, get the hell up out of here. Yo, I ain't raised you like that. You crazy? You show up at my doorstep with a chicken head. Let one of my boys show up at my doorstep with a chicken head. Him and her are gonna have to leave. I'd be like, yo, I raised you to be bringing no chicken heads to my house. Like, yo, like, what the hell's going on? Let me get her out of here, man. Let me get her out of there. Rough, insufferable. Just to look. I mean, this is what I think about. Just looking at that. But what is the missing ingredient in all of this? With all this new change towards dating and relationship, the missing ingredient is your money. Really. They don't want nothing to do with you, but they do want something to do with that money. If anything, they think you're corny and you're goofy. Most of the dudes that are successful and squared away and whatever else, like me, I don't have, I'm not knocking tattoos, but I don't have any on me. They think guys that are clear cut, clean cut, and squared away, they think they're lame and goofy. But those are the men that have stability in jobs. Those are the men who have benefits. Those are the men that are consistent. Those are the men that they can rely upon. Reliable men that they can rely upon financially. And that's why they're having these conversations about where are all the men. What I mean is really translation, where are all the sponsors? Where are all the sponsors? Because remember, again, the government that's currently in place has divorced them. Because guys like Kevin Samuels tried to fix relationships. Kevin Samuels tried to save relationships. What did they do with Kevin Samuels? Yeah, basically, they're looking for walking ATMs. Salute to you, man, my brother. Yeah, it's walking. Looking for a walking ATM. Salute to my brother, International Quiet Storm. Peace and blessings to you, man. Thanks for coming through. But LA, yeah, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for basically, it's crazy. They're loud as hell when they tell black men to leave them alone, respect their requests. Now but again, Uncle Sam has filed for divorce. Uncle Sam is telling them, your ass is divorced and I ain't paying you no alimony or no child support. Yeah. Danced on his grave, celebrated that man's death. That man had no criminal record. No criminal record. He had never done any crime against black women. He wasn't a thug. He wasn't a heathen. He wasn't a degenerate. He didn't shoot up nobody's neighborhood. and they danced on that man's grave. Imagine that. You have dudes over here, rappers and certain individuals with sordid character that have done all kinds of degeneracy in that community. But when they die, they get a hero's celebration. But this dude tried to save them. He tried to save the community. He tried to save the community. He tried to save the community by advocating for marriage and family. Yeah, absolutely. If he was yeah, exactly. The Hebrew house. Yes. Yeah. It's crazy. But now they're complaining because, again, if Kamala Harris had won the election, they wouldn't be talking about this relationship shit, though. Bringing back love or community or any of these other things. These women in these dating events. And look at the women even in New York City with Maldini. They voted for that mayor in New York City and he's raising the taxes. They're scared. They're like, oh, hell no. We got to pay more property taxes means higher rent. Higher rent means income is gone. For a single person living alone, see, men can live and exist because most of the times we can do a lot of things ourselves. We may fix a car ourselves. We can cook certain foods. We don't wear all this makeup and fake up and have all this expensive stuff around. Look at me, I'm bald. I use a shaver. It takes me 5 minutes to make myself bald. I don't have no hair to worry about. Shower, shave, clean yourself up, deodorant, whatever. Body oils, lotion. That's about it for men. Women had all these other expenses that men don't have. But now, since the government divorced them, now people want to talk. They want to talk. Let's fix relationships. But it's relationships on their terms. Because they want to tell us what is valuable. I think Obsidian made a post one time that Black men especially is the most gaslit men out there. They want to tell us what we should value in women. I call it gaslighting value, especially the older women. They want to tell us that we should value old women that have lived their life, that have enjoyed their prime. The Lisa Ray type women and stuff. We say, it takes you longer to shave your head than for them to scratch out the bonnet and put it on, man. Oh, man, it's crazy, man. Hey, you guys, if you want to support the channel, you can. Here's a link right up here for you guys that want to support the channel. But Top Gun is correct. Between the bonnets and the, you've been talking about Rudolph Hess, yes. Yes, I figured that was what you was trying to say, Rudolph Hess. Yeah, but it's now the conversation is about, let's talk. What's wrong with relationships nowadays? Why aren't men showing up to dating events? Without those government programs, now they're seeing layoffs because of automation. They're afraid of AI. The Gen Z young men have turned conservative. And they're starting to get really high standards. They ain't trying to pay bills. Salute to my brother Barrow Hamilton, man. Appreciate the $2.99 super sticker. But let me move that out of the way. The Gen Z men have gotten more conservative. They're not trying to pay. Now they're talking to this crazy thing, because when I talk about the religious backdoor, they went back to the church, rebranded, and now they're trying to charge the men they wouldn't date when they were 21. The men they wouldn't date when they were 21, now they're telling those men after they have enjoyed all this sex and heavy pounding and relationship, you're a provider man. A man's job is to provide. You pay 100% of the bills. But when you turn that around and say, well, are you a traditional virgin? They'll call you insecure. They'll tell you, well, God has cleansed me of my sin. And you're a misogynist. How dare you talk about my past, my 50 bodies? You're a man. A man's supposed to pay 100% of the bills. But you say, well, those are virgin prices. That's MSRP. Are you a virgin? Are you like Ruth? Are you a Proverbs 31 woman? Nope. But they want you to pay those prices. They've been a feminist their whole life. So it's gouging. They gouged the guy they wouldn't date when they were 21 years old. And that is the biggest scam. The biggest scam that's going on out here today. That's what's going on out here, man. Hey, salute to you, man. Nice to cry, Storm. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Salute to you as always, man. Always supporting, man. But that's the biggest scam that's going on right now. Of course, supporting Black male media, of course. Appreciate your support, man. Is to rebrand and charge the men that they say was corny, was goofy when they were young, MSRP. That's what's crazy about it. And I had a clip for that. No, not that one. That one is rough. But how these young ladies move with these young brothers, or try to move with these young brothers, and it was quite disturbing, to be honest with you, when you think about it. So this is an example of what I'm talking about right here, where these young brothers have to go through the nonsense that they have to, with even the young girls. The women that you see at the church now, they used to be like this. I'll let it play.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Of course, all the time. What the fuck?
Play again. Here, give me start from the beginning.
Have you ever received money from one guy and spent it on your man?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Of course, all the time. What the fuck?
Imagine that.
Have you ever received money from one guy and spent it on your man?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Of course, all the time. What the fuck?
So those are the same women that wants that be with all these, that want these men to, or these young men to get in a relationship with them when they get older. They basically take their youth and chase after a certain type of man. I mean, obviously this is a crisis because they don't have real fathers or anybody around them, but they're the ones who show up at the church events. When they get older, they're going to rebrand themselves as virtuous women and say that they're wife quality women. When those men that they're dating right now, this is them in their prime. Yeah, he's Barry Hamilton. This is them in their prime. And it's crazy. He said, I just had a conversation with a coach about this topic. I've been a recipient. Oh man. But this is the problem we have. You know, heavily indoctrinated in feminism, heavily promiscuous in their prime, cross over 30, many times with other men's kids, heavily feminist. Then they decide that, oh crap, I'm running out of time. I need to find me a marriage or relationship, but on my terms. And who's the guy that's available? The guy they wouldn't date when they were 21. And now they're going to all these dating events, but they still have this high delusional expectation because social media has created this inflated sense of value. And they show up at these dating events with the hugest, biggest egos in the world, and they expect men to accept them. You know, hey, salute my brother. Larry, I appreciate the $3 super chat, man. Thank you, appreciate it. But that's what they're showing up with the same arrogance and pompous attitude that has kept them single for so many years, because social media is constantly feeding the brain. Social media is coming into the brain constantly. Validation, Panda Bear channels, the Derek Jacksons of the world, the other channels, the women around them are keeping them delusional. The men that they want will entertain them a little bit just to get some box. So it's a vicious cycle that goes to nowhere, which creates an environment where the men that are smart, that are intelligent, they listen to channels like mine, they listen to other channels. The men themselves are saying to themselves, what the hell? I'm not signing up for that. Why? What? No matter how people shame them, no matter how they gaslight them, the men are experiencing the truth. And I made a video this morning talking about, for anybody, especially the guys who've been married or had a divorce, the environment that we see out here, I don't think it will change in my lifetime, because there's a fundamental disconnect. A disconnect as in what men value or want from women and what women are willing to offer them. And everything that they're offering them is nothing that men want outside of sex. So that's where the great disconnect is. And there have been generations now of women who've been raised to focus mostly on themselves, their careers, and their life. And the skills and the talent or the ability to coexist in a relationship with a man when you are a self-centered narcissist is very different. Are you raised to hate men and see men as evil? You're not going to be able to be in a relationship with a man because you hate men. How can you exist with a man? You hate men, you hate male leadership. You think men are beneath you, and you're competing with men. So who wants to live with their competition? And I think it's only gotten worse. So even in the instance where they're concerned and worried about all of the things that are going on geopolitically or globally, with politics, with wars, with the economy, with inflation, the arrogance is still there because we live in a first world country. The state is here, the government is here, the social safety nets are still here with the government. Not what they used to have, but we're still here. Men are still protecting in terms of the general thing. You dial 911, the cops are at your house in 5 minutes. It's not like it's a zombie apocalypse outside, but the fear resonates below the surface because the same conversation that was going on is no longer taking place. There's fear, there's panic, there's nervousness. There's not all this women's empowerment thing going on anymore. The men are just turning their back. They're leaving women on the highway changing tires by themselves. They're following women's instructions to leave them alone. So the environment itself has shifted dramatically in a way, and it creates an environment of fear, uncertainty, nervousness, because ultimately men ask the fundamental question: what am I getting out of this besides access to maybe access to sex? In the short term, I mean, in a relationship, they're not going to get it. Over the distance, they're not going to get anything else other than sex. Maybe occasional sex delivered to them in a disrespectful way, but outside of sex, a man can just get outside of, maybe if he want to have kids and he wants his kids to grow up in a healthy home, a 2-parent home, but it's not going to, what is that? If the woman is going to divorce him anyhow because she's a ball-busting feminist, what's the point now of getting married, having kids with this woman? He's not going to be able to get along with her. She's going to turn off the faucets of sex as soon as he has one kid with her and be disrespectful in the house because she wasn't raised to be under the leadership of a man. And you said a word leadership too, they'll be like, what? Who you? Who leader are you? We lead together. Who? What are you talking about? She don't want you to lead her. She wants to live in an egalitarian house where you pay all the bills. Imagine that. An egalitarian household where you pay all the bills and you share the power in terms of not taking her as an advisor, but at the same time, she gets to make the call with the same amount of power that you have. There's no order of authority in terms of who gets the final vote. And, it's just funny, man. He said she can become a VIP vigorously intense pounding, right? So the crazy part is that they've talked their way into recreational use only. They've talked their way into recreational use only. They've disrespected their way into that. And trying to have conversations with men in terms of dating and coming to the table in terms of relationships, it becomes very difficult because all the man can see is suffering. He doesn't see this pleasant, happy, enjoyable environment where he's coming home to a loving wife and family. No, he's saying that he could come home to get his balls busted. He's going to be paying all these bills. He's going to have a disagreeable, disrespectful woman at the house. She's not going to listen to him. She's not going to follow his directions. And then he's going to have to pay. He's going to take on responsibility and have no authority. That's what he's going to do. And we know responsibility without authority is plain outright slavery. And also considering the fact that he's guy number 20 who just happened to marry her. And that's the fundamental, what's on the deal and what's being offered to the men. And why the situation has gotten really, really tragic in terms of the dating and the relationship market, in terms of the men they want. If they're single, they're not going to take those deals. The men they want are not going to take the deals. It's not happening. I don't see it happening. You can shame all day. You can make all kinds of nasty comments. You can call us old, bald. You can call the young men losers. You can tell them that they don't have proper upbringing. You can tell them that they lack masculinity. You can call them effeminate all day long. They're still not going to sign up for a deal that looks like torture. And that's the fundamental problem that we see out here, is that major disconnect where they don't have anything outside of sex that men want. And that's a difficult environment, but we have evolved to that point. And, you know, as we exist in society, we've evolved to that point. And it's a sad reality that we've come to this point, but we saw the writing on the wall. And like I said before, Brother Kevin, he tried. He really did. He gave it the old-fashioned try. You know, rest in peace to him. You know, he did the best he can, but feminism was too strong. The women did not want any form of anyone telling them anything. It's funny. He said, "Do you take this VIP to be your lawfully wedded bone in the nose banshee? Do you solemnly swear to put up with all the BS and keep your mouth closed through it all?" That's really what they're offering, really. I mean, is a horrible situations with relationships on their terms, and who wants to? Because all they talk about is them. And it's like men are getting what prize are men getting? Men are not getting any prize. Men squared away masculine men that got their lives together are the prize. Women are bills. Women are expenses. Anything that adds bills or expenses is not a prize. If you're adding bills, expenses, responsibility, debt, trauma, problems, you're not a prize. A prize is an asset. A man produces wealth, builds a house, builds and create things. Something that costs more money than extracts is not a prize. It's a responsibility, not a prize. In this environment right now, it's rough, man. Not with the way the laws are right now. I think the only way this thing is going to be solved is with arranged marriages between people with conservative values. People that have similar values, conservative values, if they arrange marriage, they're without the state involved, if they bring their families together and they marry, okay, your daughters, my sons, or whatever, we all believe in this particular system, this religion, this whatever. And you got to put the infrastructure in place for those women. Because if you don't put the infrastructure in place for those women, that means the women that are older that are going to be talking to the younger women. Because the younger women got the virus from the older women. So to fix this problem, you would have to have the infrastructure of older women and a social environment that supports marriage and family. With those older women out here competing with the younger women, and they only support debauchery, and they're out here sabotaging the younger women, teaching them how to be thoughts and disagreeable and create problems and issues, and you can't fix it. It really is. There's no structure to fix that. The only thing that can happen is families that are like-minded. That's it. Otherwise, this shit is a lost cause. Because it's a lost cause, man. Only those families that have those values are going to come together anyhow. And hopefully the women don't get caught up in the worldly, trappings of what's being shared among women out here. And they get caught up in that, and then they become a part of that cycle of mismanaging their youth and believing in themselves the things that feminists and simps and panda bears tell them that men, good quality, hardworking, honorable men, value those or respect those or want those in a woman. And what's even worse is when you see guys that are the Jellybacks and all that stuff, the Clay Thompsons and the rest of them who get with these women, that have been out here in the thottery. It only validates. It only takes one hero. It only takes one Russell Wilson to bring hope to generations of women who have mismanaged their youth. It just takes one Russell Wilson, one Klay Thompson to breed hope. LA Fitness said, as a man, I already pay food, rent, water, insurance, phone bills, in the gym. Why should I add ungrateful women to my expenses? That's pretty much what you're going to be doing. Because that's all they're really, for what they're offering, a man can get that with a situationship with a woman. Or he can go out like Uncle Earl. He can get a situationship with a woman, only sex, or he can just go out like Uncle Earl for what these women are offering today. Because what else are you going to get other than aggravation? Who wants to live with that? And that's the fundamental problem right there. The question is never asked, what is in it for men? The streets are flooded with pre-owned. What is in it for men? Yeah, Steph Curry, definitely. Yeah, she's like hell with this. And the women are encouraging that type of rebellious behavior with her. Did he put another baby in her? He said, I want to Russell. Yeah, they're all in there in a desperate attempt to repair their broken lives. Very true. And that's what they're looking for. Oh yeah, she's bad. I think she follows that Tia Mowry crowd type mentality. Because Tia Mowry was we can't figure out why she left her husband. But exactly. He said viciously pound the matter. Appreciate the $2 super chat, Top Gun. Salute to you, man. Appreciate your support, man. Viciously pound matter. And make sure you guys hit the like button, man. What is time to think? She people. Let's see. In this day and age, the only thing a man can do is buy the phone, the computer, the email, the emails, phone calls, everything. Keep your mouth shut and run recon. It's crazy, man. He said Michael Jordan's son did not stick with louse. Hell no. That's that. The crazy part about that is it gave the old women hope. They don't understand that men will eat roadkill. And they don't understand the low-hanging fruit on the ground. It's still a score for a man who's horny. Dudes will eat roadkill, especially the young bucks. The young bucks will eat roadkill. Sometimes climbing to the top of the tree to get that fruit is a pain in the ass, especially 11 o'clock on a Friday night. Roadkill will do. Especially these women that are getting out of divorce, that's fresh roadkill. And they don't understand. They serve a purpose. The young bucks need target practice. But he was crazy messing with that one, man. I don't understand. Michael Jordan was shame. I couldn't imagine walking around Michael Jordan and you want to slap your kid in the back of the head. Bring shame to the family. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You're Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. And your son is walking around with burnt out old ass Larsa Pippen. Hey, crazy, man. Shame. Kids, man. Kids. They do some weird shit. But what can you say? But again, opportunity has been there. I put the man up. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels, man. He gave it the old college effort. And now we obviously got an epidemic of these alpha widows. Yeah, it's target practice, man. But a lot of these women are there are a lot of them alpha widows too, man. Like a lot of women at the dating events, like a lot of these women right here at these dating events, even the one that this Indian brother, the one whose wife's always clowning him, a lot of them are alpha widows too, man. A lot of them. They've been through the ringers, man. But anyhow, I wanted to address that topic quickly about where did all the good men go? Where did all the eligible bachelors go? They've basically tortured them. Men have just seen enough. They don't want to get into these relationships. They don't want to do it. You know, unless you want to be that guy parked in the park late in the evening where the police have to tell you, sir, you have to go home. Sir, you can't stay in this park no longer. You got to go home and face the wife. He walking around. He didn't walk his 10,000 steps for the day. He trying to walk 20,000 steps because he don't want to go home. But he's at the park in the evening time. Nah, they ain't trying to be that dude. So, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Appreciate your support for the stream. And we'll probably do another stream at some point. Maybe this week, maybe on the weekend. But appreciate you guys who supported the channel. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you very much for coming through, man. I'm out, gentlemen. Thank you.